Hello, fellow MEC E 200 students. My name is Jared Hlitzky, and I'm here today to talk to you about the life of James Fenton. He was a civil and mechanical engineer in the 18th century. He worked mainly on trains and locomotives within the 18th century. I'm here today to talk to you about three things: the White classification of train wheels, 2, the beam engine, an engine that Fenton's company produced in the 18th century. And 3, we have a special guest who works on trains in the modern day. Alright, moving on down to the university. Hello everyone. We're talking about the White classification of locomotive trains. Here we have the trailing wheel, we have the 2 driving wheels, and we have the leading wheel. And obviously the train is moving in this direction. So for this White classification, we have 2 sided wheels. So we have 2 wheels in the trailing, 4 wheels in the driving, and 2 wheels in the leading. And the Hawthorne class of Fenton's train had a White classification of 0, 4, 2. Alright, to conclude, we'll move on to the beam engine. Here, we have a beam engine. It uses vertical steam-powered engine translated over a fulcrum into rotationary power on the output. It was used at the Deeping Fen pumping station at Podhole and has 60 horsepower. This engine was produced at Fenton's company in the 18th century. Fellow students, it is time for you to meet your special guest. Her name is Johanna, and she is currently working on the new ETS line to Grant McEwen.
Hi, I'm Johanna. I'm working on the Edmonton North LRT expansion.
Johanna, what do you think trains were like in the 18th century, and how much do you think they have improved into the modern day?
The 18th century were vital for the industrialization of everywhere, pretty much. They were very useful for transporting goods and people for the high class who could actually afford it, and that increasingly made for a higher demand for trains and everything. And so they had to improve them, and eventually went from steam-powered to gas, diesel, electrical ones, and it became more common in cities for that to be a main method of transportation, especially for people who can't afford cars and stuff. So things like LRTs have become extremely popular, and it's just become a main method of transportation instead of just a necessity for transporting goods and stuff.
What do you enjoy most about trains?
What I really like about trains is that they're far more complex than what they seem to be. Usually you just kind of think of them as like a steam engine that kind of goes like this. But they're, especially LRTs and everything, they're much more complex, and everything, all the thought that goes into them is very in-depth. Everything, especially safety, is a huge consideration when designing anything about trains. And it's, the more you get into it, the more you see everything that goes in, and the much more fun it gets. Especially all the problems that come up. Anything like line voltage on LRTs makes a big difference for everything in the train. Too much line voltage will blow certain resistors and everything. And just everything has to be taken into consideration, because it's like a waterfall of problems if one thing goes wrong.
Alright everyone, I'd like to recap on what we've learned today. We've learned 3 things. We've learned the White classification of locomotive trains. It describes the way the wheels are patterned throughout the train's body. 2, we've learned about the beam engine, a 60 horsepower engine that Fenton's company produced in the 18th century. And 3, we've learned that trains are still very vital in today's day and age.
Alright everyone, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed my video.